And hey, we're live. Good evening. I'm your host, Noel Clubb, here on the Clubb Tracks TV show, and welcome to Spanning Sports World Network on Zingo TV channel 250. Please remember to download the Zingo TV app from respective iOS and Android app stores, as the app is absolutely free. And while you download, please make sure to rate and leave us a comment because you always want to hear from you folks. We sure do. And Zingo TV is also available on Google Chromecast, Amazon Fire, and Fire TV sticks, and Roku sticks are also available on all smart TVs from 2016 forward. Well, of course, folks, welcome to the show, and thanks for joining us here on your Sunday evening, eh? All right, let's shoot on over to our special guest here on the show this evening. She's a Canadian jazz, pop, rock artist, and a singer-songwriter. And hey, we're discussing her new single, of course, Modern Nostalgia. Please welcome the very cool, the very special Holly Clausius here on the show. Welcome. How you doing?
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, good to see you again. It's been the second time back on the show after a bit of a delay and hiatus.
Yeah, it's nice to be back.
Excellent. So you're originally from, was it Exeter, Ontario? Is that where you're from?
Yeah, small town, about 2.5 hours from Toronto. Yeah.
Gotcha. And so you're based in Toronto right now? You're in Toronto
Yeah,
now?
and in Toronto, I guess now for almost 5-6 years. Yeah.
5-6 years? Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I hear you. And of course, you recently released your latest single, but we'll get to that very shortly anyway. We'll get to that very shortly about your new single. But we'll go back to the very beginning with you first. So, in terms of your musical influences, who kind of inspired you the most? And of course, first, it comes to your interest in music and bands, artists when you're growing up.
Yeah, so I was really into like Disney as a kid, and
Oh yeah,
so it got me into like singing and eventually acting. And then, yeah, later on, it was like Alanis Morissette, Avril Lavigne, like all these kind of Canadian pop stars and rock
yeah.
stars. Yeah.
No, very cool. So, how did you get started off in music? What was your start? What was your beginning point for you?
So I guess like, yeah, I started singing at like 5 years old, and then I started writing songs when I was about 10, 11, and then fully have been doing music for the past 3 years as like my career.
5 years? Yeah,
3 years full time.
3 years.
Mhm.
3 years. Very good.
Mhm.
Now, what do you got? Wait, in terms of like, playing instrument, what do you play specifically? You piano, guitar?
So my main instrument would be, I would say, guitar and voice, and
Mm-hmm.
then I've been like reteaching myself piano. I also play ukulele and teach ukulele and stuff. Yeah,
Well, you teach as well, eh?
yeah, on the side.
Very good. So you like more online teaching, or is it in person in class teaching?
Yeah, because of the pandemic, it's mostly on like Zoom, but
Mm.
before then, I was like in elementary schools and stuff.
Oh, gotcha. And that's gonna be, of course, in Toronto, right? You're doing the teaching all in Toronto.
Yeah, well, I have some students now that are like in Hong Kong because of Zoom, but yeah.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, because yeah, it's true. You got again, I can reach the world a little more closely and from your own room, basically. So that's
Yeah,
yeah, very cool. That comes with Zoom. That's pretty cool and pretty special to do that.
yeah.
100%. 100%. Yeah. So in terms like, so you guys first got started off because your first time you were on the show was about a year ago now. I guess it was when you first on the show here.
Mm.
And so since that time, what have you been up to for the past year?
Yeah, so I guess when I spoke to you last, I was releasing my album Sunflower, which was a very like
Right.
folky kind of EP.
Yeah.
And I've actually put out a full LP called Rose Garden, which is more rock folk, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I guess my sound has been evolving. I've been working more with a band, kind of moving from that solo to now finding my real sound. But yeah.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Now, in terms of the band, like you based this band, has it been kind of found as members here in Toronto locally? Is it more widespread? And how do you guys meet your current members of your band? How do you guys
Yeah,
meet?
so I've worked with a handful of different people, but I think like over the past like couple months, I've been finding people that want to like stick with the band instead of just like sub in here and there.
Right, right,
Uh,
yeah.
so it's been really lovely. They're all Toronto musicians. Most of them went to like Humber College for music, and yeah, we all have
Yeah, it's a
different.
great program there. Yeah.
Yeah. So
No,
yeah.
very cool. And right now, you're working kind of a record all besides the single. Do you have anything more in store for us in the near future in terms of a record, or it's more singles in the future?
So I have been writing a lot, and I do have enough material for an EP, I'm thinking. I
Mm-hmm.
haven't really dropped any info about it yet, but probably will be recording later this year, and then I don't know when it will be released yet, but yeah.
Well, it's all good. It's all good. So again, I'll get onto your current single, which came out, I believe it was April, which was, 'cause, of course, that's Modern Nostalgia came out,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
it was released back in April. So
Yeah.
you actually worked with, of course, we collaborated with sorry the artist from Los Angeles, which was Zario. How'd you actually meet him?
Yeah, so I went to LA in November and I lived there for the month. And one of the
Mm.
first things I did was a showcase at Hotel Cafe.
Mm-hmm.
And Lazaro was also on the bill. So we ended up
Oh,
seeing each other play. And I, right off the bat, was like, I want to write with this person. Like, they have a very playful lyricism, and he was on board. So we booked a studio, and I think we wrote this in less than 3 hours. So it was a really
wow,
successful
that's pretty
session. And
fast. So
yeah.
you're written and recorded within 3 hours. Is that correct?
No, we
Just
we
the
ended
writing
up,
of it.
we were ready to record, and then our 3 hours were done at the studio, so I just recorded my vocals back in Toronto, and he did all the other instrumentation from his home studio.
In Los Angeles. Is that
Yeah.
correct? Yeah, I
Yeah.
gotcha.
Mhm.
So when you do recording for yourself, is that out of your own home? You go actually go to studio record? Like, how does it work for you?
Yeah, so I just moved here, so I haven't recorded in this room yet, but I basically set up, like, a little bedroom studio for my last album. So I kinda got quite good at recording my own vocals and harmonies and stuff, so it worked out well for the last single too.
Oh, very good, very good.
Mhm.
Now, what's your inspiration behind the single "Modern Nostalgia"? What's the like lyrically speaking, musically speaking? What's kind of inspiration behind that song?
So there's a couple things. So it was my first time being in LA, and like I was staying in Hollywood, so there was this very like Hollywood Walk of Fame, like actors, musicians, so much history. So I think naturally the crooner, like 1950s Hollywood, kind of came out of
Hmm.
me.
Yeah,
And I also had a line written down in my phone that I wanted to write a song about that just said, nostalgia dressed up in her suit and tie. So I kind of wanted to like play with nostalgia being a person. And
yeah.
that's kind of what
That
we did
imagery
with
of it all. Yeah,
the symbolism. Yeah.
yeah. Very cool, very cool. Now, so the song was released back in April. So, like, how's it been for tracking and for like interest and so forth and growth of the single? How's it been going so far? How's it been working on
It's
radio
been
play and
going
views?
pretty good. This was kind of one of my first times doing the PR and everything on my own, so it was like kind of a risk, but um, we got some newspaper, we got some things, and we were able to make a music video for it as well, which was so fun, and it turned out exactly how I wanted. So it's good.
So when you're making the video, when it comes to making video making process, are you involved creatively speaking in video making, or is it separate from you? Like, how does that work for you?
Yeah, so like I mentioned earlier, I went to school for acting here in Toronto, so I definitely have a background in the film kind of world. So I've directed pretty much all of my music videos, and my partner is a cinematographer. So he
Oh,
does kind of the camera work, and we work together on different concepts. But
good.
yeah, it's been a really good pairing.
Good partnership then. Yeah, it does relate
Yeah,
and fit quite nicely.
yeah, it works together. Yeah.
And now, in terms of your new single, are you getting much like, radio airplay in Canada at all? Like, how does that work for you in terms of like having your single out? Is it well received with radio in Canada?
I haven't got it on radio yet in Canada. I was fortunate enough to get Sunflower on the radio through CBC,
Yep.
and some other like college stations, smaller stations. But yeah, I don't know. This one, I'm trying to reach out on my own, but it's a little bit tougher as an independent artist,
Yeah.
to connect with them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough, isn't it? Very tough, actually.
Mhm.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Well, moving on here. So in terms of do you have a single right now? You have the works right now. You're going to plan on releasing next little while after Modern Nostalgia. Is anything going to planned afterwards? This in terms of the singles.
I don't have anything exactly planned, but I do have a very busy summer of like shows and getting back into like traveling. So I'm going to be going to New York for a little bit and potentially Nashville. So that's kind of
Hmm.
what this summer is about. And then I think in the fall we'll get to like recording and really having some new music for everybody.
Oh, so be like this fall. You're planning on having more stuff released, basically. Eh?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Oh, very good, very good. Now you
Mhm.
have plans for any kind of live dates coming up, whether it's live or it's online, like in terms of live shows. What's happening there with you?
Yeah, so I think my next show it's on May 28th at Redwood Theatre here in Toronto. I'm
Oh,
also playing the Horseshoe Tavern in July on July
oh, very
5th.
cool. Great venue.
We have a lot of shows played with this new band that I was talking about, so I'm really excited to play with them at all these different venues.
Yeah, very cool. And the Horseshoe, is that the first time you had been here? A Horseshoe is like be your first
That'll
show
be
there?
my first Horseshoe
Yeah,
show.
such an iconic place for Toronto. It comes out live music is concerned, been around for decades, and
Hmm.
so many great acts and bands come out there for sure. This place, a
Yeah,
great place,
definitely.
great place.
Hmm.
And in terms of like music, being in Toronto music scene these days for you, are you collaborating with other people in Toronto, artists, bands? Are you trying to explore that avenue a little bit more in the future? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I always believe in like collaborating, co-writing. It's definitely made me a better musician, and I tend to do a lot of like songwriting challenges too. Like for example, in January, I wrote a song every single day for the month, and with that, collaborating comes really naturally for me. So even if it's on Zoom or in person, co-writing, I'm working on that all the time.
Yeah, very good, very good. Now, of course, the song we're talking about earlier about nostalgia, more nostalgia. It's more of a crooner voice, which is
Yeah.
very different for you in terms
Mhm.
of what you've done in the past.
Yeah.
Is that something you want to pursue a little bit more in the future? Because I have to say, it's a very, very cool. That it has a great, unique style about it with you, and you do
Thank you.
carry it off very beautifully. And so, would you pursue more of that kind of style when it comes to your vocals is concerned?
I think definitely in the jazz world. I don't know if it necessarily be crooner all the time. It was nice to like play around with that, especially with like the music video itself. I was all done up in the 1950s whole look and everything. But yeah, I think we'll mess around in jazz, but maybe not crooner.
Yeah, cool, cool. Yeah, I always see it as more of like a jazz. Yeah, more of that jazz thing going on for sure in your music with the pop and the rock genre
Mm-hmm.
being mixed in
Kind of
there, which
blending them
I
all.
love that mix. And I've seen more of that mix the last few years myself, which years ago I never thought of jazz, pop, rock
Yeah.
as being a you know a mixture, but it works so well, and especially with you and what you're doing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So it's very, very cool.
Thank
So
you.
new stuff be not till the fall in your case, as you're saying earlier. So
Yeah.
we'll have to wait until then. Unfortunately. But yeah, I love the new single. It's a great single. And I was thinking, like, you do it doesn't remind me a little bit of Nora Jones and a little bit of Adele at times, actually, your current
Thank
single.
you. It's a
Is
great
that kind
comment.
of what you're kind of looking for? Is that kind of influence and inspiration behind the song?
Yeah, I mean, I love both of those artists. I think Nora Jones is somewhere on this wall
Yeah.
too, somewhere.
Where's she? Where's
Um,
she?
yeah, but no, I definitely never try to like sound like another artist, but I think sometimes with how much I listen to them, it can just kind of seep in like naturally a little bit.
Yeah. Seems to your subconscious mind, and there it is, comes out
Yeah.
to you musically, and oh, there it is. More nostalgia, right on. Yeah, so even the title itself is very fitting in terms of that song's concerned, right? It's a
Thank
very
you.
fitting title as well. So yeah, I just love the whole thing.
Thank you.
Love it all, love it all. So as getting back to you as an artist, so what are your greatest challenges for you being a young artist, trying to get your name out there, your message out there, your song out there? What are your challenges you face? Just kind of share with the audience and myself what you go through.
I think like, as I mentioned earlier, I am an independent artist, so I don't have like a big label or
Yeah.
even really a big team behind me. I'm mostly just myself. Like I said, my partner shoots my music videos, but other than that, I'm doing the social media, I'm doing the press, all that stuff. So that's probably the biggest challenge is finding the time to be creative, but also do all
Hmm.
that marketing and all the business side of music too.
Yeah. And plus, kind of forcing you now to become more of an expert on those
Mhm.
areas, right? Which that's
Yeah,
hard. You're an
definitely.
artist or whatever it is you're doing now. You gotta be like more multitasking. You gotta be more on the ball in this kind of terms that comes. But it comes like marketing, for example. You try
Mhm,
to market yourself out there on your own. You
mhm.
right, you know, the big group behind you and corporate world behind you to do all those things.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
definitely more challenging.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, very, very true. And then going back to now lyrical content, moving forward in your future songwriting, is it kind of subject matter you're going to pursue in the future, or is this kind of like more lyrics are kind of just lyrics to you? It's more about the music itself. But how does lyrics going to fit into your your vision of what you do?
Lyrics are really important to me. I like to because I write so much, I'm always trying to like better my writing and with every album there's kind of like a story or a theme to it. So like, I've kind of been naming them all after flowers. Really, but they symbolize other things too. So I'm playing around with the next one being called Forget Me Not. and kind of like doing songs more about the past and like breakups and that kind of thing for that one.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. And what's your perspective right now on music scene today? What's your take? What's your personal views on the music scene right now in general?
I think it's very vibrant. I mean, especially with this Juno week, I've been kind of meeting
So
people. And
cool.
the city has been really on fire, like with so much talent. So and different genres. I think that's something Toronto does really well, especially is multi-genre. Like,
Yeah, well put. Well
so
put.
yeah, it's exciting to be in the music scene right now.
It is. I have to say, I totally agree. I totally agree. And I have to say, for the most part, it's kind of like it's unfortunate because a lot of people don't really appreciate what's really going on. It comes to
Yeah.
like artists like yourself and what you guys offer musically and what you're doing. It's
Mm.
you're saying you're combining so many different genres into one
Yeah.
styling, which is now your styling, what you're doing. It's a
Hmm.
shame that it doesn't really get out there enough on the mass scale because it does deserve that for sure.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. And I understand you're going to Juno's later on after the show.
Yeah, I'm gonna check out the Junos tonight.
Very envious. You're very lucky, but I'm very envious of you. I
Thank you. I
want to go too.
was
Very cool, very cool. Yeah, actually, we have a few folks who were up in the show last a while are going to be on the show tonight, and
Oh,
they're
awesome.
actually nominated. Like Zen Soul's nominated for R&B artist of the year, and there's a few there tonight that I wish I could see there and say, yeah, right on, woohoo!
So cool.
I
Yeah.
know them. I know her. No, very cool, very cool.
To believe me, you can do
Oh,
whatever you want and
oh
be as
well, we got
as you want. I'm not
Mark back.
doing that.
Mark.
Okay. But I told you what I was doing.
Mark, there you
I
are.
am not doing that. I can't have this. I'm getting
This show is always entertaining.
Yeah,
Never a dull moment in this show.
never know.
it wasn't
Never a dull
me.
moment. Never a dull moment. Anyway, get back to the show again. Oh, that was pretty funny. That was pretty funny. So you have any kind of dream projects, like anything you want to do in the near future besides what you're doing and your great collaboration you've been doing last while? Do you have a dream project you want to pursue?
Yeah, I think like one of the things I want to do next is maybe make a move to LA. Since I
Ooh,
was living there, I really just loved the environment and can see myself living there.
I
Um,
absolutely do not.
I don't know what's happening. Um, but yeah, that's one of my dream projects.
Sorry. Uh, so going back, I know that during your career you have done a lot of projects. What can we expect, and what from in of future projects? Where do you want to go?
I would love to, like I was mentioning earlier, travel and play my music, whether it's across Canada or in the States. Um, I also would love to collaborate with some of my favorite artists like Feist and Orly Gartland. And yeah, like play a stadium show would be really cool.
I mean, the, have you reached out to try to see if if you can start a tour?
I have applied for grant funding for a tour across Canada, so I'm kind of in the waiting steps if I get that funding to start planning that tour and actually, yeah, do it in all the different provinces. But if that doesn't go through, I probably will still do like a Quebec, Ontario, like smaller tour.
Well, let keep in touch with us. We as part of between Mark, myself, and Noel, we have also lots of connections that we can guide you in that way and help you out in whatever way you need to get it to get things going. Oh, look at that little cat!
It's never a dull moment. Cat wants to be on.
So one of the i- interesting thi- one of the interesting things with here we are. Noel is here. Uh,
Oh, I can't hear you.
can hear you. Can't hear you, Noel. Ah, there he goes away. Okay. um, so one of the things that it's interesting in the music world, and tonight you are you have been invited to the Junos. Is the In the Canadian music scene there is diversity in how music develops,
Hmm.
uh, from from genre to genre, and collaboration between artists to do that.
Hmm.
Have you aside from the artists that you were mentioning, because they are mostly on your own side, have you considered doing something in another genre?
Yeah, yeah, I love playing with other genres because I'm constantly trying to listen to things that are not. I feel like if I stick to one genre, there's just so much out there. Um, so yeah, I've been trying to play with other genres, and I don't think I'm ever gonna just settle for one, you know. Yeah.
Noel.
I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yes.
This has been the most wildest show I've ever had, I think.
It's fun.
But I made it! Oh my god. Quite the adventure so far, guys. Quite the adventure. Anyway, moving back to the show again. So I want to ask you about what's some of the best advice you received so far on your journey as a young artist, young musician in the scene? What's some of the best advice you've received so far?
It may seem very simple, but for a really long time, I didn't know really how to connect with other artists or how to like build a band or, take those big first steps. And someone just kind of told me, well, have you asked for things? Just like try asking
Yeah,
nicely.
right.
And then I made a post and people were interested. And it's kind of interesting how we have to do it on our own, be independent, but people want to help as well. And I think just taking that shot and asking someone is really important.
It is. Yeah, it totally is. Now, have you been asking anybody by curiosity?
Yeah, that's how the band formed. All three of them kind of responded to my little post, and that's how we started playing together.
That's very good. So, what's their background? You musicians in your band right now. What are their backgrounds? Like where they come from musically, and how's it all fit together as a unit?
Yeah, so my bassist went to U of T, and he actually, the cool thing about him is that bass isn't his main instrument. He is
Mm,
vocals and keyboard. So bass is kind of this third instrument that they're loving to play around with, and that's kind of what makes it really fun for
mm-hmm.
him. I have a background vocalist who also went to Humber, or who is in Humber right now. Um, my drummer, she right now we've been doing cajon shows, but
Yep.
hoping to move to full kit soon. And yeah, I'm kind of looking for a guitar player right now. I haven't found my like set guitar player, but been trying out different people.
Oh, very good, very good. Yeah, excellent. Now, how you find these guys? You've been so we advertising. You're saying earlier that's been trying to
Yeah, I
get
just
you
posted
based.
on my personal Instagram, and I knew Jackson, and I didn't really know the others, but I guess they followed me, and I'm so glad they did because we're becoming slowly better friends, and it's just really fun to make music with them.
Yeah, I was gonna say it'll probably help you a lot, and even more so moving forward as a writing process. Now you have them as a feedback, a soundboard.
Definitely.
In that case, writing more songs and getting more input and ideas as well, inspiration along the way.
Yeah,
That's
and they
pretty cool.
definitely each have their own like solo projects too. So
Oh,
it's
is that
really
right?
cool. Yeah, it's cool to see their kind of different genres that they're playing with. And then when we come together, we bring a little bit of each of that
Right, right.
to
So,
the
just out of curiosity, what are the genres? Out of curiosity.
So Jackson, my bassist, is very like vocal work. Like it's a lot of like arranging and composing. That's kind of
Hmm.
his main thing. So there's strings and stuff. Elizabeth is more folk. And my drummer is in like a rock band. So yeah,
Mm.
it's kind of fun to jam out together.
I think even having a rock drummer in your case would be a really good fit. You know,
Yeah, definitely.
giving
I'm
more of that
super
punch into
excited.
what you're doing. Yeah, I think that's very smart actually. The only
Hmm.
time I've seen that in the past, when it comes to a band, is kind of has a different kind of a genre, and you have that more of that like heavier backbeat, if you would, for lack of a better term. I really
Hmm.
find how actually adds a lot to that song or that album moving
Mhm,
forward.
mhm.
So that's good. I like you like that.
Thank you.
Yeah. You guys been doing much rehearsals lately? Just kind of get yourselves on the same page together, musically speaking.
Yeah, we've done a couple shows and we've only had a couple rehearsals, so it's been
Still
a
new,
lot
eh?
at the beginning. But I think the first show we played, like it just felt like we've played with each other for years,
Well, that's the best.
which it felt really good. So I think we're gonna start planning rehearsals because we have 7 shows this summer together. So maybe like a weekly rehearsal. I don't know. They have other jobs, so it's gonna be
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
Part of being Canadian, folks, you got to have when you're a musician, artist, athlete, working plus doing that other thing too. You do, yeah. That's so true. You see a lot of that these days.
Mm.
It's tough to be. It's tough to be a Canadian artist. I find it really is, right?
You gotta hustle, yeah.
Got to hustle extra hard than everybody else does. That's what I see
Yeah,
and
for
find.
sure.
Everyone I talk to, it's the same similar story. They're all doing multiple things outside.
Again.
So yeah, I gotcha.
I did. How dare you?
Oh no. Well, moving on here. So, in terms like for like, who do you listen to these days? As far as other bands, artists, who inspires you outside of what you're doing, genre wise, musically wise?
I really love, I was mentioning her earlier, but Orla Gartland, she's an artist from Ireland, and
Cool,
she's
cool.
making some really cool stuff too that also kind of mixes genres. So she's probably one of my biggest inspirations.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Feist, I
Oh,
love what
cool.
Feist is doing, and I got to see her live actually at Meridian Hall. She did like a really cool backstage show
Yeah.
with her new album that isn't out yet. So that was fun.
Very special. Very cool. Then
Yeah.
I can see the Feist relationship there musically with you a bit too. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can hear that in your songs.
Thank you.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. Well, moving on here, I'm gonna ask you a couple my musical questions. Like it's like I call it musical IQ, if you would.
Okay.
We'll flow some at you, see how you do here, see what you think. So first one's off. Who would you prefer more, Beatles or Stones?
I think the Beatles.
The
Yeah.
Beatles, yeah, that's always my answer too.
John Lennon's right.
Yeah, oh yeah, there he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, New York City. That's 1980. That's a great iconic photo, John Lennon, right there. It's actually one of my favorite.
Yeah,
With
it's
riding
really cool.
glasses on. Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, it really is. Next one's really tough. Coke or Pepsi?
I'm not really a pop person, but I guess I'll go with Coke. I don't
Coke, yeah, right on. Yeah, that's my
know.
answer too. Now, next a little tougher. Fast
God
or
damn
slow?
it!
What would you prefer? Fast or slow?
I like slow. Take things
Yeah,
slow.
right on. Yeah, I like that one too. That's a good one. That's a good one as well.
Mm.
God or science?
Science.
Science. Really? Well, that's a good one. Yeah, cool,
Yeah.
cool. Once again, I like it. I like it. Mixing or tracking music?
Tracking music.
Tracking. Very
Mhm.
good. Very good. Now, if you had to choose sex over playing music, what would it be?
Music.
Now, that's a diehard musician right there. Good answer. I love it. No, right on, right on. Now, what would be your favorite Beatles record, if you have one, of all time?
Revolver, I would say.
Nice. Yeah, it's my favorite too.
Mhm.
That's a great one. I mean, there's so many great classes on there. You know, you have like Good Day Sunshine on there, Tax Man.
Mm.
Ooh, yeah. Tomorrow Never Knows. Yeah, it's a fantastic record. Fantastic record. Indeed. What was your favorite decade? If I was to give you, for example, 60s, 70s, or 80s, what's your favorite decade?
I would say 70s.
70s, really?
Mhm.
And why do you say 70s? Out of curiosity, why do you say 70s?
I love the fashion from the 70s as
Oh, is
well
that
as
right?
like
Eh?
music. Yeah.
Now you
Mhm.
more like early 70s or later 70s when I say that?
Mid to late
Mid to
70s.
late?
Yeah.
So you're like
Mhm.
moving towards disco era, the
Yeah, definitely. Love me some
new
disco.
wave, late 70s. Yeah, there's punk, of
Funk,
course, punk's in there too.
disco. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's a good funk too, I gotta say. And then that
Yeah,
whole
it's one of those decades with so many genres that were like thriving at the time, like rock and
yeah.
roll, psychedelic rock. Yeah.
And evolving
Fuck!
more, expanding more. Yeah, I
It's
totally agree. Totally agree.
humiliating.
Absolutely. Now, who was the last greatest rock band, in your opinion, that was together?
This is a hard question. I was thinking
I
about
know.
this because I think there are so many good rock bands that I probably don't even know about that are still existing.
Yeah, take a guess. Take a gander. It's just all about you here.
It's all about me. Rock. I
The
mean, yeah,
last greatest rock band. According to Holly.
the Beatles come to my head, but I'm also like, well, maybe Queen.
Ooh, Queen's a great one.
Yeah, maybe
Queen's
Queen.
a great one.
Say that.
Yeah, I would say Queen would be right up to my list too. Like the last great rock bands, because I mean that was this world stuff. What they were doing. I mean, they spoke to the world. It's just it's
Yeah.
facts. Everything they did and what Freddie Mercury did on stage, especially the stage presence he had.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Live Aid in '85. That was just like whoa,
Yeah.
mind blowing stuff. You can see today. It's still mind blowing.
Mm-hmm.
You actually had a chance to see the course of the movie Bohemian Rhapsody a few
I
years
haven't
back.
seen Bohemian Rhapsody. No, I saw Rocket Man, but yeah, I got to see the.
Well, that's a good one too. That's a good one too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I recommend if you get a chance to see Bohemian Rhapsody about the movie on Queen, their story. It's a fantastic story.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Great movie too. Very well done. Very well done. So moving on, do you prefer a clean sound, which I know you pretty much do, or distorted sound?
Clean, clean, but with minory chords.
Minor distortion.
Yeah.
Little distortion aside, right on. Yeah, me too. Actually, me too. So, what album should every musician have in their album collection? What album would that be, in your opinion?
I feel like for some reason Fleetwood Mac, like I think it's Dreams, that album.
Dreams?
Yeah, that just feels iconic, probably.
Yeah. That was like mid-'70s, right? That when it came out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think I saw the first one was Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham. I think that was, if I'm correct, if I remember correctly, that was the first one on the record with Fleetwood Mac, which was huge album, as we both know, as we all know around the world, is immense.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, what album in your whole life experience had the most biggest impact on you? Was the biggest album for you?
You did mention Adele earlier, and I think Adele's 2021, I believe, was probably or 19. Both of those albums were really important to me. I got them as like a birthday gift as a kid, and I listened to them like all the time. And that probably is what would help me prepare to like write really good lyrics, but still like have the focus on the singing too.
Yeah. No, I gotta hear that kind of inspiration there too in your songs. That's a good point. Agreed there. Now, if you came across missing tapes of David Bowie, would you claim them to be yours?
No, I wouldn't claim them to be mine. I would have to.
You wouldn't.
Credit, where it's due.
It's like I found the tapes. Here you go.
Oh yeah, I couldn't steal from him.
Yeah, I know it's a tough one. Have you heard the latest Bowie released Toy?
No, I don't think I have.
Yeah, it's actually really good. It's actually mixed some stuff he did from years ago.
Okay.
He recently released of his. But this is actually a really good record, and the title track, which is called "Toy." It's a great single, by the way. If you're being obviously a Bowie fan like I am,
yeah,
great album. Now, what's your favorite David Bowie album of all time?
I don't know if the album's called Heroes, but the one where he's going like this.
Yeah. Late '70s. Yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah,
and of course that's a great track too. Heroes, it's a fantastic song.
It's really cool how they recorded it too,
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
isn't it? It truly is. Even his backup band in that record was pretty awesome. The keyboards from Roxy Music came on that one, I believe it is. Name fails me right now, but he did a lot of great stuff too with Bowie afterwards. Like late '70s. Yeah. Amazing stuff. Now, if you were to bring one person, rock star, musician back from the dead, who would it be? Dun, dun, dun.
That's tough. It's between George Harrison and Aretha Franklin, I think.
Really?
Those two are very, very special. Yeah.
They sure were. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I always loved Aretha Franklin, and of course, the dark horse being George Harrison.
Yeah.
Big fan. What's your favorite George Harrison song? With or without the Beatles? What would be your favorite song from George Harrison?
I really like, I don't know, did he write Something?
He did. That was his big one.
That's like one of my favorite songs of all time from the Beatles and from him. But I just love how he experimented in different genres as well, and traveling. Like a lot of his stuff was influenced by like not just Western music, but like East.
Yeah. That's interesting. Actually, even Frank Sinatra made that same quote a long time ago. He goes, "My favorite Paul McCartney, John Lennon song was something." And of course, we all know is George Harrison that actually wrote that song.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Obviously, fantastic song. All right, so next one, if you could choose producer, dream producer, you can have on your next record, who would it be? Would it be, for example, like Phil Spector, George Martin, of course, who recorded the Beatles, Eddie Kramer, Bruce Fairbairn? Like, who would be your top producer if you could make that choice? Dead or alive? That's right, dead or alive.
It would be so cool to record with like George Clinton and like Rick Rubin, like just
Yeah, Rick Rubin,
something
yeah,
so like funky. That
still
would
going
be
strong.
a dream. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. I always loved Rubin's work too with Tom Petty. Some great stuff he did with them as well. That was very like, whoa, it's pretty cool. Yeah, I love Rick Rubin big time. Love his stuff. Now, if you had a superpower, what would that superpower be?
I've always wanted, it's weird. As a kid, I always wanted to like fly, but
Yeah,
yeah, I guess I'll go with that. Fly.
flying, eh?
Or what's it called when you can like teleport yourself somewhere else? That would be nice.
Oh, that'd be really cool. Yeah, that's a good one actually too. Yeah. That'd be very cool. Yeah. That's very special mental telepathy going on there. You can see it and be there in seconds.
Yeah.
Woohoo! I'd love that one too, for sure. Now, what's your most album? What would be what album have you played that probably the most in your lifetime that you have in your collection or CD you played the most in your lifetime? That's completely worn right out.
Probably Back to Black, Amy Winehouse. I would say that one I played
Nice.
quite a lot.
Yeah.
Or Hillary Duff when I was younger.
Yeah, Back to Black, Amy Winehouse. That was a fantastic record. Too bad it was her last one, but that was just superb. There's Rehab on there. There's a few great songs on there. Not even remember quite released, but that's of course one of the big one. Yeah. I love Amy Winehouse. It was fantastic stuff. Are you a big book reader on the side, besides all your busy activities you do and all stuff, all the writing you're doing?
I like to read memoirs, like a lot of musician, their books.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like biographies on musicians and artists and bands?
Yeah, like Flea had a memoir, Acid for the Children. That was really good.
That was really good. I read that one too.
Reading Dave Grohl's right now. Yeah.
Very good. So, what's your favorite book so far in terms of like music biographies? Which one that grabs you the most?
I think probably Flea's. It's just so interesting. I know Anthony Kiedis had one too called Scar Tissue, but
right.
I think Flea's takes the cake.
Yeah. Well, what a life those guys had, eh? Right, it's an incredible life those guys had together.
Yeah, it's interesting how they both like have the same kind of like similar stories, but tell them in such different ways too.
Exactly. It is. Very, very true. Now, what would be your favorite movie ever of all time?
My favorite movie is like a rom-com called About Time with Rachel McAdams. It's about time travel, but also just like a silly like rom-com. But, yeah.
They come out. Was that quite recently or a while back? That movie.
It was like 2010s kind of time. Yeah.
Gotcha. Now, who's your favorite actor of all time? Actress of all time?
I really like Timmy Chalamet for male actor, and then I don't know. I like Saoirse Ronan as well. I think they work really well together. Those two.
Yeah. That's good. That's going to you as well. That is true. All right, moving on here again. So, what single have you ever actually recorded would say is the best interpretation or reflection of who you are? So, what song you recorded so far to date, including your new single, Modern Nostalgia, but what song reflects you the best to date in your collection?
Yeah, I was thinking,
like, oh, I know Holly now.
Yeah, I was thinking about this, so that I was gonna maybe answer the one song I have that lists all of my inspirations. I thought that might sum me up, but musically, like if you actually look at the music and the melodies and stuff, I would say Falling for Friends, because it's kind of where I first started diving into more of a funky, jazzy rock, like not just sticking to me and an acoustic guitar in my voice.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say that Falling for Friends.
No, very cool. Very cool. Actually, I'm gonna ask, go back to this current record, actually, current single. Like, who actually produced the current single with you guys? Modern Nostalgia. Who's behind it?
Lazaro, he did it all.
You did all
He
that. Is that right?
producer, mixer, yeah, did it all.
Does it all, eh? Does
I
it all.
guess so,
It's
yeah.
so well too.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, so that's very cool. Excellent, excellent. And then, so tonight, Junos, of course, as we all know here in Canada, it's a very, very big deal. It's our big golden holy grail for us in the music industry in Canada. Who are you pulling for right now, and what categories like you're most like you're focusing on the most as far as what genre, what category?
Well, I had a friend of mine who was nominated for Jazz Album of the Year, but they announced it yesterday, and I think, and someone else won. So that was kind of who I
Oh, it
was
was on yesterday? Oh no.
Yeah, there's like the opening ceremonies. I didn't know they like gave away some awards as well there.
Right, I forgot about that. That's right. Usually the awards they find is not as appealing for TV. They'll do those ones
Yeah,
beforehand, right? Which is kind of a shame,
yeah,
but I get it because it's a long show, so they're just trying to
it
cut
is.
down.
Yeah,
It's a little more, rather than being 5 hours and taking me 3 hours.
yeah, yeah. But Serena Ryder, she won the adult contemporary album, so I'm glad
Yeah,
that she won that. I really liked her work. I got to see her at Massey Hall recently, so that was nice.
very cool, very cool. Now, if you could choose another instrument you could play and played very, very well, what would it be? You play as an instrument you would love to have that talent. What would it be?
So something I don't play.
Yeah, that you wish you could play and be an absolute master at it.
I mean, saxophone is really cool. Like if I could just pull out a saxophone solo, that would be pretty sick.
It's actually work on your songs quite nicely too, by the way.
Yeah, that would be cool.
It would. It would. Just a little hint there for you.
Yeah, maybe I'll get practicing.
A little suggestion. But no, I love your stuff. But yeah, actually, I do see definitely a correlation there automatically with you for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. All right, what's moving on here? So, in terms like we were talking about earlier about messages received and experience you've had, and of course advice you've had over the years. But what would be like a message you kind of leave to someone who's aspiring to be like yourself, who's a young female artist? They want to get their message out there. They want to get the voice out there. What kind of advice would you provide them?
I would tell them to keep going, to believe in yourself, because at the beginning it can be very hard, especially as a woman in the industry, to like be heard. So I
Yeah,
think definitely like believe in yourself, um, push yourself to try things you've never tried and to work with people and collaborate. I think the number one thing is to not just be only invested in yourself, because then
right.
you're kind of shutting out other opportunities.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that would be my main thing to say.
Yeah. No, actually, that's what I love about what you're doing is you're more open to that collaboration, and you're right. It does some good things for you, not just because the fact you're together with somebody, but it opens up more doors for you as well, because you get
Mhm.
more people seeing you, hearing you, and then come across what you're doing, and then oh wait, I didn't ever heard that person before, and then they are working with somebody else and expanding your audience into other people's audience as well. So it's very special to do that. Actually, it's very cool you do that because it's very strong. It's very secure of yourself to do that and step outside your comfort zone and do those things.
Yeah.
That's real growth, real development right there. So yeah, kudos to you, eh? Yeah, well done there. Well done, well done. Yes, let's move it on. Because I asked you too, like, and so you plan to do some live shows. You're saying shortly, right? At like
Mhm.
El Macombo. What's the date for that show for El Macombo? By the way.
It's so it's Horseshoe Tavern.
Oh, sorry, Horseshoe. Sorry, Horseshoe.
July 5th, I believe.
Hmm.
It's the Horseshoe Tavern. But there should be other dates like Supermarket. I'm also playing in July. A lot of little smaller venues in Toronto, but yeah.
Yeah, very good. And
Mhm.
you are essentially self-managed, right? You kind of manage your own.
Yeah,
You just
self-managed.
do it
So I
all.
book the shows, I do the shows. Yeah.
It's just unreal. It really is. It's really a big plate, folks. It's a big plate she's carrying here. It's huge. It really is. So I always commend people like yourself because that's a huge load, and you say you got to be an expert in so many areas that are not easy to
Mhm.
know and to learn. It's not easy whatsoever.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. So say kind of fast forward. Ooh, fast forward in time. That's right. Fast forward in time. How would you like to be remembered by people?
I want to be remembered, obviously for my music, but I think my lyrics are a big thing. Like I want to help people through really hard times and to kind of be an inspiration to younger women in the industry to kind of just like go for it and not wait for someone to like hand them things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly.
Mhm.
Now, you speak to a lot of your audience members. They actually reach out to you in terms like they have questions and so forth. And if so, is there any kind of questions that kind of really kind of hits your heart and your soul and your mind? It's out of curiosity.
Do I have questions
Yeah.
for them?
No, like say actually when it comes like your audience, like your viewership, you actually kind of reach out to you and ask you about certain things, and it's kind of like you have a certain question that kind of really hits you. It's like, oh my god, like that's
Yeah, I've definitely had people reach out like sometimes like because I do have some songs about like mental health and stuff. So I've
that's
had some
cool. I love that.
people reach out and saying this got me through a really tough time or how did you get through this, so I'm very
Absolutely.
open with that. I think that's important
And
to
that's really so timely right now too, as we both know. Like we going through the pandemic, it had such a huge impact on people psychologically, and and when I hear that subject matter being brought up of mental illness and how people address it, I mean, I think that's so wonderful that you do that because it is so timely, and so many people. There's more people now that are in need of help there in that
Mhm.
subject matter, right?
Definitely, yeah.
So I love the fact you actually you actually do approach it head on. I think that's fantastic of you.
Thank
Do you
you.
ever get like, people like ask you about that? Like, as like an audience member saying, like, how do you deal with this kind of stress and and kind
Yeah,
of go back to answering them and
I've definitely been very open with it from a pretty young age. I think I made a Facebook video once, just kind of on Bell Let's Talk Day, just saying like, this is my story. If you need anyone or if you feel alone, like don't hesitate to reach out. And that kind of
right
got
on.
spread like wildfire. It became a video that was played in like public schools and high schools. So yeah, I think I'm just an open book. And if they want to talk about it, I think that's great.
That's really cool. You do that. That's really really cool. Very special.
Thank you.
Very yeah. I love that. I love that. So, what kind of message would you like to leave your audience before we go? What kind of message you want to leave to your audience? Watch out for, look out for more Holly. What's happening? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm really excited to play a lot of live shows this summer, and you're going to see a lot more of me front manning a band and not just
Excellent.
hiding behind a guitar. So
Woohoo!
definitely try to come out to one of the shows and also be online if you're not in Canada. Stay in touch. Who knows? I could be coming somewhere near you soon.
Excellent. And where can we find more stuff, more information, and also your records and singles online? Where can we go? Where people can find you?
Yeah, so mostly I'm at Holly Clausius. I think it's on the screen right now for people to
Yeah, I
read.
see it there. I see it there.
Yeah. So on all platforms or on Facebook, Holly Clausius Music. And I also have vinyl and records online for people to listen to as well. Same name.
Well, very cool. Well, thanks, Holly, for coming on the show. It's very adventurous and very interesting show we had here today.
It's very
Not
fun.
so much news, just our problems with connections and so forth. Oh my God, is quite adventurous today. Quite adventurous.
Yes.
But I'm glad you hung in there. You hung tight. Very good.
Thank
Let
you.
you go and catch the Junos live, which I'm very envious of you to see that. Well, very cool. Very cool. I'm sure we'll see you there, nominated very, very soon.
Thank
I
you.
expect it actually. To be honest with you, I really do. But hey, thanks, Holly. Real great pleasure as always. So
Yeah.
Holly Clash is a great interview. Always great time to have join with you, and hope we can see you again real soon. And of course, when you come back, we have more singles or record maybe
Yeah.
released by that time. It'd be
Yeah.
fantastic to see you and talk to you then. That'd be
Love that.
great. So
All right.
please keep in touch.
Yeah, of
People, check
course.
her out. Check her out, Holly Clausius. Just fantastic stuff. Great,
Thank
great artist. Well, hey, gang. So thanks again. And remember, folks, check out Zingo TV for all the news. Watch it, hear it, read it, download it, live it. Thank you, folks. And thank you, Holly. And thank you for watching. Take care and all the best. We'll see you soon.